The vast darkness of space stretched endlessly, a silent canvas where humanity's fate would be decided. In the year 2275, Earth had become a fragile blue dot surrounded by countless alien civilizations that viewed humans as nothing more than an insignificant species waiting to be conquered. Commander June Park sat in the dimly lit research center, his weathered hands tracing the digital records of an ancient naval battle from Earth's past. The Battle of Midway flickered on holographic screens, telling a story of unexpected victory against overwhelming odds. Outside the window, massive space stations hummed with nervous energy, humanity's last line of defense against the approaching alien threat. The Meridian Alliance, a coalition of technologically advanced civilizations, had been watching Earth for decades. They saw humans as primitive, disorganized, and technologically inferior. Their massive fleet was already approaching the solar system, confident of an easy conquest that would take less than a standard galactic week. June remembered the briefings. Intelligence reports showed the alien fleet consisted of over 10,000 advanced warships, each capable of destroying entire planetary systems. Their weapon technology was generations ahead of human capabilities. Plasma cannons that could slice through planets, quantum communication systems that made human technology look like children's toys, and energy shields that could repel most known forms of attack. But June saw something different. Where others saw weakness, he saw potential. The historical records of human battles, particularly the naval engagements of the 20th century, revealed a pattern that most alien strategists completely overlooked: human adaptability. In the research center, a team of scientists and military strategists worked tirelessly. Holograms danced with complex calculations showing potential scenarios of the upcoming conflict. Young analysts worked alongside veteran commanders, their fingers flying across quantum interfaces, searching for any possible advantage. The mood was tense, but not defeated. Humanity had been in impossible situations before. They had survived world wars, environmental catastrophes, and near-extinction events. This alien invasion would be just another challenge to overcome. Nearby, a group of engineers worked on modifying existing spacecraft. They were taking old human military designs and reimagining them with experimental technologies. Quantum entanglement, drives, adaptive camouflage systems, and neural-linked weapon platforms were being integrated into what would appear to be ordinary spaceships. June watched a junior engineer named Sung Wei working on a particularly complex system. The young man's hands moved with precision. His eyes focused with an intensity that reminded June of historical documentaries about human innovation. This was humanity's strength, the ability to create miracles from limited resources. Outside, Earth looked peaceful. Cities continued their daily routines, most citizens unaware of the impending invasion. Agricultural zones produced food, research centers continued their work, and people lived their lives. The aliens would never understand this resilience, this ability to remain calm in the face of certain destruction. The alien fleet was now just days away from reaching the solar system. Their massive ships moved through space like predators, each vessel larger than entire human cities. Advanced sensors scanned the region, collecting data, preparing for what they believed would be a simple extermination. But they didn't know about the plans being developed in secret research stations. They didn't understand the human capacity for unexpected strategy. Historical battles had always shown that technology and numbers didn't guarantee victory. Adaptation and innovation did. June pulled up an old photograph of naval commanders from World War II. Their faces showed determination, a quality that seemed to be genetically encoded in human DNA. He saw the same look in the eyes of his current team, a mixture of fear, preparation, and an unbreakable spirit. The quantum computers continued their calculations. Thousands of potential battle scenarios were being processed every second. Each scenario considered the alien technological advantages, human limitations, and the unpredictable factor that no alien civilization had ever successfully quantified: human creativity. As the alien fleet drew closer, humanity prepared, not with panic, but with a calm, calculated approach that would soon become legendary in the galactic records. This was more than a battle for survival. This was a statement about human potential. The research facility buzzed with intense energy as Hana Kim studied ancient battle strategies. Her team worked around the clock, transforming old naval tactics into something that could survive in space. Computers hummed, displaying countless holographic simulations that flickered like electronic heartbeats. Historical records became their Bible. Every battle, every strategy from Earth's past was dissected, analyzed, and reimagined for cosmic warfare. The Battle of Midway, once a naval engagement on Earth's oceans, now became a blueprint for survival against an alien invasion. Hana understood something most military strategists missed. Technology wasn't just about advanced weapons. It was about understanding patterns, predicting movements, and creating unexpected solutions. Her fingers moved across quantum interfaces, breaking down alien fleet formations into mathematical possibilities. A small testing chamber. Engineers worked on experimental spacecraft modifications. They weren't building massive war machines. Instead, they created something more subtle, ships that could adapt, communicate, and react faster than any alien computer could predict. Sung Wei, the young engineer, developed a breakthrough communication system. It wasn't about having the strongest signal, but about creating a network that could confuse and misdirect. He studied how human military units in past conflicts used deception, applying those principles to space combat. The team discovered the alien fleet's primary weakness: predictability. Their advanced technology made them believe they were unbeatable. This overconfidence would be their ultimate downfall. Hana's team began creating strategies that looked weak, but contained hidden strengths. Military analysts brought in old naval battle maps, comparing ocean warfare techniques with space combat principles. They noticed similarities that no alien civilization had ever considered. Positioning, timing, psychological warfare, these were human strengths that technology couldn't replicate. Daewon Choi, the AI systems architect, developed a revolutionary neural network. Unlike typical AI systems, this one could learn and adapt in real time. It didn't just process information, it understood context, predicted emotional responses, and could make split-second decisions. The facility worked in complete secrecy. Most of Earth's population remained unaware of the approaching threat. Cities continued their daily routines, while this small group of scientists and military personnel prepared humanity's last line of defense. Quantum computers ran millions of battle scenarios every minute. Each simulation showed different potential outcomes. Some were hopeless, showing complete human defeat. Others revealed tiny windows of possibility, opportunities that required perfect timing and incredible risk. Hana's team studied alien communication patterns. They discovered that despite their advanced technology, the alien fleet had predictable communication protocols. By understanding these patterns, they could create electronic warfare techniques that would disrupt critical systems. Training simulations became increasingly complex. Pilots practiced maneuvers that defied traditional space combat logic. They learned to move like water, flexible and unpredictable. Each training session pushed human capabilities beyond known limits. The experimental spacecraft looked ordinary from the outside. No massive weapons, no obvious defensive systems. But beneath their simple exteriors lay complex technologies that could turn the tide of battle. Adaptive camouflage, quantum entanglement communication, and neural-linked weapon systems transformed these ships into something extraordinary. Resources were limited. Unlike the alien fleet with its seemingly unlimited technological capabilities, humans had to be creative. Every component was carefully designed, every system optimized for maximum efficiency. They weren't trying to match alien technology. They were trying to outsmart it. Psychological preparation was as important as technological preparation. The team understood that space warfare wasn't just about weapons. It was about breaking the enemy's spirit, creating confusion and exploiting psychological weaknesses. As the alien fleet drew closer, the preparation reached its final stages. Months of work, years of research, and centuries of human adaptive learning were about to be tested. This wasn't just a military operation. This was humanity's statement to the universe, a declaration that they would not be easily conquered. Hana looked at her team. Young engineers, veteran military strategists, brilliant scientists, all united by a single purpose. They weren't just preparing for a battle. They were writing a new chapter in human history. The countdown continued. The alien fleet approached, and humanity waited, prepared, and ready to fight. The massive alien fleet entered the solar system, their thousands of ships creating a metallic wall that blocked out starlight. Commander Kirill Vex stood on the primary command deck, watching Earth grow larger in the viewing screen. His species had conquered hundreds of civilizations, and this would be another simple mission. Sung Wei piloted the lead human spacecraft, appearing isolated and vulnerable. His hands moved carefully across the control panels, every movement calculated and precise. To the alien sensors, he looked like a lone pilot about to be destroyed. Exactly as planned. The alien fleet's initial scanning waves swept across human space defenses. Their advanced technology showed nothing unusual. Thousands of ships prepared to unleash destruction, confident in their overwhelming superiority. They saw humans as nothing more than a primitive species waiting for extinction. What they didn't realize was the intricate trap being laid. Every human ship was positioned with mathematical precision. Neural-linked AI systems communicated in quantum frequencies that the aliens couldn't detect. What appeared to be random spacecraft movements were actually a complex, synchronized strategy. Kirill, Vex's communication officer, reported standard scanning results. Minimal resistance detected, the alien reported. Human defenses appear weak and scattered. The commander allowed himself a moment of satisfaction. Another civilization would soon be added to their galactic conquest list. Suddenly, communication channels started fragmenting. Alien ship systems experienced unexplained interference. Weapon targeting computers began producing conflicting information. What had seemed like a simple invasion was turning into a confusing nightmare. Sung Wei's spacecraft made a series of impossible maneuvers. One moment it appeared in one coordinate, the next it disappeared and reappeared kilometers away. The adaptive, camouflage technology made the ship almost invisible, then suddenly visible at critical moments. The first precision strikes came from unexpected quantum coordinates. Alien ships found themselves under attack from directions that shouldn't have been possible. Their advanced defensive systems struggled to comprehend the attack patterns. This wasn't traditional warfare. This was something entirely different. Human spacecraft moved like living organisms, each ship communicating and adapting faster than biological intelligence could process. They weren't fighting as individual units, but as a single complex system. Every movement was calculated, every position strategic. Kirill Vex watched in growing horror as his invasion fleet started experiencing system failures. Communication between ships became impossible. Weapon systems started targeting their own vessels. The precise, methodical alien invasion was falling apart. Daewon Choi's AI systems worked in perfect synchronization, predicting and countering alien tactical movements. The neural networks had learned from millions of historical battle scenarios, understanding not just mathematical possibilities, but psychological warfare techniques. The battle wasn't about destroying every alien ship. It was about breaking their spirit, creating confusion, and making them question their own technological superiority. Human strategies exploited psychological weaknesses that no alien civilization had ever anticipated. Within hours, the alien fleet found itself in complete disarray. Ships that had entered the solar system with absolute confidence were now scrambling, their advanced technologies turning against them. The humans weren't just defending, they were systematically dismantling the invasion. Communication between alien ships became impossible. Navigation systems failed. Weapon platforms started targeting their own vessels. What had seemed like an impossible human defense was turning into a total alien defeat. Sung Wei's voice remained calm throughout the engagement. "Maintain formation," he told his fellow pilots. "Stay adaptive, stay unpredictable." Each human pilot understood they were fighting for more than survival. They were fighting to prove humanity's potential. The quantum communication disruption continued. Alien ships found themselves isolated, unable to coordinate their massive invasion force. What should have been a simple conquest was turning into a complete disaster. Commander June Park watched the battle unfold from the primary human command center. His strategy, based on historical naval battles and modern quantum technologies, was working perfectly. Humanity wasn't just surviving, they were winning. As the first wave of alien ships started disintegrating, a new message of human potential was being written across the cosmic battlefield. This wasn't just a defense. This was a statement about human adaptability, creativity, and unexpected strength. The ambush was complete. The alien invasion was failing. And humanity had just changed the course of galactic history. The space around Earth transformed into a chaotic battlefield. Alien ships burned like dying stars, their once perfect formations now nothing more than scattered debris. Daewon Choi's AI systems worked with superhuman precision, predicting and countering every alien movement before they could even be initiated. Commander June Park watched the holographic displays, his hands steady, his eyes calculating. Each second counted. The human strategy wasn't about destroying every alien ship. It was about breaking their collective will to fight. Sung Wei piloted his spacecraft with an almost supernatural skill. He understood something the aliens didn't. Warfare was more than technology. It was about understanding patterns, creating uncertainty, and exploiting psychological weaknesses. His ship danced between massive alien vessels, striking with surgical precision. The neural-linked weapon systems transformed human spacecraft into living, thinking entities. They communicated faster than biological intelligence could comprehend. Where alien ships moved in predictable patterns, human vessels became liquid, flexible, unpredictable, impossible to target. Hana Kim's strategic calculations played out perfectly. What looked like random movements were actually a complex mathematical dance. Each human ship was positioned to maximize confusion, to create cascading system failures in the alien fleet. Alien communication channels collapsed. Their advanced technology became their greatest weakness. The more complex their systems, the easier they were to disrupt. Human engineers had created quantum communication viruses that spread like digital wildfire through alien networks. Weapon. Platforms on alien ships began targeting their own vessels. Navigation systems produced impossible coordinates. The aliens' technological superiority became their ultimate vulnerability. They had never considered the possibility of total system failure. The battle wasn't about firepower. It was about adaptability. Humans had studied centuries of military history, understanding that victory comes from unexpected strategies. The aliens saw only numbers and technology. Humans saw opportunity. Kirill Vex, the alien fleet commander, watched in growing horror. His massive invasion force was being systematically dismantled by a species they had considered primitive. Communication with his ships became impossible. Each passing moment brought more destruction. Quantum pulse weapons created electromagnetic disruptions that tore through alien defensive shields. These weren't standard weapons. They were revolutionary technologies that transformed the very nature of space combat. Each pulse created cascading system failures across entire alien squadrons. Within hours, 72% of the invasion fleet had been destroyed, not through brute force, but through intelligent, adaptive strategies. The remaining alien ships began to retreat, their technological superiority completely neutralized. Daewon Choi's AI systems continued to learn and adapt with each passing moment. What had started as a defensive strategy had become a complete, offensive operation. The humans weren't just surviving, they were demonstrating their potential to the entire galaxy. Sung Wei's voice remained calm across communication channels. "Maintain formation," he told other pilots. "Stay focused, stay unpredictable." Each human pilot understood they were fighting for more than survival. They were fighting to prove humanity's worth. The space around Earth transformed. What had looked like certain destruction became a testament to human creativity. Alien ships burned, their once perfect formations now nothing more than scattered debris. The psychological impact was as important as the physical destruction. Commander June Park allowed himself a moment of satisfaction. This wasn't just a battle. This was a message to the universe. Humanity would not be conquered. They would not be dismissed as a primitive species. They would fight, adapt, and survive. The final stages of the battle saw the remaining alien ships retreating in complete disarray. Their communication systems were destroyed, their navigation compromised, their collective spirit broken. They had entered the solar system expecting an easy conquest. They were leaving with a fundamental understanding of human potential. As the last alien vessels disappeared into the darkness of space, a new chapter in human history was being written. This wasn't just a victory. This was a declaration. Humanity had arrived on the galactic stage, and they would be remembered. The silence after battle was different from the silence before. Space, once filled with tension, now held a new kind of quiet, a quiet of transformation. Commander June Park stood on the bridge of the primary command vessel, watching the retreating alien fleet. News of the victory spread quickly across human settlements. Cities that had been prepared for potential extinction now celebrated. People, who had feared total destruction, now looked to the stars with newfound hope and pride. Galactic communication networks buzzed with the unexpected news. The Meridian Alliance, a coalition of advanced civilizations, found themselves processing an impossible scenario. A species they had considered insignificant had just defeated one of their most powerful invasion fleets. Hana Kim and her team of strategic analysts began documenting every moment of the battle. This wasn't just a military victory, it was a scientific breakthrough. Their strategies would be studied by military academies across human colonies for generations. Alien diplomatic channels became unusually quiet. The defeat was more than a military loss. It was a fundamental challenge to their understanding of technological superiority. Humans had proven that creativity and adaptability could overcome advanced technology. Daewon Choi's AI systems continued analyzing battle data. Each piece of information became a learning opportunity. The neural networks had performed beyond any expected parameters, creating new understandings of adaptive combat strategies. Sung Wei received commendations from military leadership. But like most of the human pilots, he understood the victory wasn't about personal glory. It was about protecting their species, about proving humanity's potential to survive and thrive. The remaining alien scout ships kept their distance. Their scanning systems continued to monitor human space, but with a new level of caution. The confident arrogance that had characterized their initial approach was completely gone. Earth's global leadership began preparing for new diplomatic challenges. This victory would change humanity's position in the galactic community. No longer would they be seen as a minor, insignificant species. They were now a strategic power to be respected. Scientific research facilities started analyzing captured alien technologies. Each piece of alien equipment became an opportunity for human innovation. What the aliens had considered their greatest weapons would now become tools for human advancement. Military strategists recognized that this battle was more than a defensive victory. It was a complete reimagining of space warfare. Traditional concepts of technological superiority had been completely challenged by human adaptability. The economic impact was immediate. Human technology companies saw massive investments. Space exploration programs received unprecedented funding. The entire human civilization felt a collective surge of confidence and potential. Alien diplomatic channels slowly began reopening. But the conversations were different now. Where previous interactions had been dismissive, they were now cautious and respectful. Humans had proven they were not to be underestimated. Commander June Park understood the larger implications. This wasn't just about defeating an invasion. This was about establishing humanity's place in the cosmic community. They had shown that survival wasn't about having the most advanced technology, but about understanding how to use what you have. Research into the battle strategies began immediately. Universities created entire departments dedicated to studying how humans had managed such an unexpected victory. The battle would become a turning point in human historical records. Global celebrations continued for weeks, but among military and scientific communities, the focus was already on the future. What other challenges might humanity face? How could they continue to adapt and grow? The alien fleet's retreat was more than a physical movement. It was a psychological transformation. The Meridian Alliance would need to completely reconsider their approach to potential civilizations. Humans had shown that potential cannot be measured by current technological capabilities. Sungwei looked out into space, understanding that this was just the beginning. The victory wasn't an endpoint, but a starting point for human potential. Every challenge was an opportunity to learn, to grow, to become something more. As days passed, the initial shock of the victory transformed into a new understanding. Humanity had not just survived, they had demonstrated their ability to thrive in the most challenging circumstances. The cosmic aftermath was more than a military victory.